Alright guys, what's up? So, we have a new event, and it is a time trial event thingy. And, yeah, I'll be honest, this is not my strength, so to say. But, I did give her a go, and I have gotten 38,000, so that's, like, alright. So, I will be showing you what I did, and I will be first showing you the map, and I already have some footage recorded so I can talk over it without having to focus, and show you guys the sorts of ins and outs of the map. So let me... Oh, wait, duh, you can't cheat. Duh. Maybe I can just resign? That's fine. All I wanted to do was show you guys the map. Alright, so the objective is just to defeat everybody, and you have to do that by sniping various buildings. Essentially, it's a bunch of castles and then, like, a monastery and a wonder. So first you have to, there's a little, like, intro thing. You run into town, you get your army here, you are Imperial Age Mongols, and you have 22 in-game minutes to defeat everybody. So first up is the weakest enemy, which is the Cubans, which you can literally patrol your starting army into. And just use whatever siege weapons you can get out as quickly as possible, snipe their castle, and then whenever you snipe the specific building in question, you get, one, all of the buildings, and two, you get a bunch of resources. So it's kind of about snowballing resources and even some production buildings to really speed you through the scenario. So beyond humans, you have a couple different routes you can take. You can go to the north and take on the Tatars, who have this little walled city here to the north. It's not that strong. It's guarded by a few Kashyyyks and Steppe Lancers and Kavar. It's not that crazy. It's just a matter of getting through all the walls, really. Or you can go to the south in the unwalled, but also towered and with a much larger army, is the Slav base. They put up a little bit more of a fight, but it's mostly about just getting your units in position to snipe enemy buildings. And then you have sort of the two guards of your final boss, the Teutons. The Magyars here in the south have a really big army as well as a decent-sized navy. But you can use a bunch of demo ships, and you'll see me do that to get some good shots off and take some good trades, but the Magyar Hussars will snipe all your siege if you're not careful. And in the north, definitely the second strongest after the Teutons is the Saracens, and they will upgrade themselves to siege onagers. So they'll have siege onagers, Mamelukes, heavy camels, towers, walls, castle, that you need to snipe, obviously, some monkers. And it can be kind of tricky. And then, of course, finally, the big bad boss, the Teutons. Yeah, they have a huge-ass army, 2 crenellation castles, a bunch of keeps, and you have to snipe their wonder, which is really well guarded, so that's definitely a bit of a challenge. But that's sort of the layout, that's the goal, that's what you have to go up against, and now I will get you guys into the run I recorded. Alright guys, so we are here in the magical world of my recording. Hopefully the audio sounds good, or at least good enough. I don't normally do this, I very rarely do like post-game recording stuff. But yeah, here we are. I wanted to be able to talk my thought process through as opposed to just trying to focus on the timed objective. Like I said, this run yielded like 36 something in terms of a score. Really not the most impressive score of all time. I've even gotten higher at 38, but this gives you the general idea. And if you had a strategy that gets you a much faster result, as I'm sure many of you have, then definitely let me know all about it and let everyone else know about it in the comments. This is just really an introduction to what the scenario is and kind of how you can go about playing it. So, as you can see, I used my initial army to take down the Cuman army, just pulled back my units so they did not take unnecessary castle fire, and then began to treb away and cap ram away at the castle. It's all about sniping buildings. So, castle down. There is a little bit of delay, which is kind of annoying before you get all the stuff. But yeah, you see we get a bunch of resources right there. We got all their buildings. We're going to instantly throw down another castle. Keep up ram production, keep up Mangudai production, get our elite upgrade, all that good stuff. Really, it's all about Hussars, siege rams, and Mangudai, at least in how I went about it. And now we have two choices. We can go to the north and attack the Tatars, or we can go to the south and attack the Slavs. So we're going to kind of do both, because you can't just go from one enemy to the other and expect to have time left. You really are quite hard-pressed for time in this scenario. Also, you'll see that I'm playing on casual speed. It just makes things a bit easier when you're going for a time trial. No need to make things more difficult on yourself, especially if you're as bad as I am. But anyway, we're going to start poking away at all of these swordsman unit dudes. I guess kill that monk guy as well. But while we're doing that, we're going to simultaneously be building up a little bit of an eco. You don't need much of an eco, just a little bit of an eco. As well as start to build up some units to attack the Tatars, so we can sort of have 2 groups and 2 assaults going on at once. Make sure that everyone's all grouped up here, bringing up our trebuchets and rams. The rams, we're going to try and save as many as possible for the final fight against the Teutons, who are, as you might expect, the strongest opponent by far. And we're going to need everything we can against them. But still, the sort of outermost enemies, the Slavs and Tatars, really not that scary. You just need to throw enough units at them and eventually they'll break. The big limiting factor here, I found, is castle production time. You need Trebs and you need Mangudai. You can't make both at the same time, because that's not how Age of Empires works. But you can see here, just going to be sending in some Trebs and some siege rams. Meanwhile, up here in the north, we're going to be just throwing units at the Tatars until they break. Notably, that none of the enemies train units, but they do get upgrades over time. So your enemies do get stronger, but only in terms of upgrades, not in terms of replenishing units. But anyway, there go the Slavs. Down for the count. And so we're gonna get all their stuff. Most importantly, 2 siege workshops and 2 docks. The docks will be used to make some fire ships and some demo ships, and the siege workshops will be used to make siege rams. Also worth mentioning is you have a bunch of techs researched for you, which is pretty nifty. So you don't really have to go all that far in terms of fleshing out your tech tree. So you can see, going to be using the dock, making some ships. Like I said, this is not the best run ever, and I certainly make plenty of mistakes. I have done better, but I've done a bunch of these runs, and I'm I'm not the person to get 60k or whatever. Still, though, I think that this will be somewhat helpful and maybe a little entertaining, kind of, but not really. Anyway, importantly, we're going to get a second castle up here to the north of the road right there. And this is going to be important for dealing with the Saracens, who are going to kind of rely on them running units into our castles. Just as a matter of saving time, and we have not that many units or resources to work with. So Tatars, once we bust down the gate, we're just going to throw some rams at the problem until eventually it works out. They are only with Castle Age upgrades, so they're really not the scariest enemy in the world. Get another castle up, or no, I don't have the resources. I've done a lot of runs of this, guys, with a lot of different slight variations. But yeah, I mean, you can do what you want, and I'm sure there are way better ways of doing it than what I've shown here. Anyway, we're just gonna try and use our units to debate as much fire as possible. Get a nice little demo hit there for the road. And once you defeat an enemy, not only do you get their stuff, I should have mentioned, all the enemy units just disappear magically. So that's really important, otherwise you just get wrecked instantly. Anyway, there go the Magyars. There go the Tatars in the north at around the same time. And that will just leave the Teutons and Saracens. Definitely the 2 hardest opponents by a lot. So we're going to need to take a little bit of time to prepare some sort of assault onto the Teutons. Going to get another castle up here to the north. Again, we're going to try and use some demo ships to get some nice shots off. But first we need to try and bait the Teuton units out into our army. And here I do a very bad job of this. You can see me lose some units for no reason. In this run I didn't do a very good job. Also going to try and debate the onagers and whatever, because they don't pursue your units super well. So if you can drag the enemy units off, then you'll have a much easier time. I guess even if this isn't the best run ever, I have done this scenario enough to know that with good execution, the sorts of things that can really help you out. Anyway, you get another couple siege workshops over here. Those are going to be important for churning out siege rams. And then I lose another hussar for free, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, probably dies off screen. Anyway, similar concept, just throw enough units out to the problem and then let the Treb snipe it from behind. And that's pretty much the same deal here, except I think I lose my trebuchets because I am bad at this. Trying to just debate as many units as possible. and trying to get in some reinforcements. I probably waste a lot of time here. Probably need to get this attack going. I already have my trebuchets here. What am I doing? The second you get your trebs there, you need to get going, man, because you need to get rid of a castle before you can really target the Wonder super effectively. Otherwise, the Crenellations castle will just kind of ruin your day. Anyway, Treb's going to start working away at the castle, but it is uphill just to be extra annoying. And I probably end up losing everything here. All these runs kind of, they meld into one after a while. Anyway, with some optimizations, you can see how it's at about this point that you can probably be winning the scenario, if you're not as bad as me. Still, going to be slowly but steadily pushing away over here, and just throwing enough trebuchets at the problem will eventually take down the Saracen castle, and net you the final bit of resources and buildings possibly that you might need to take down the opponents. That was some unit teleportation stuff that I just now noticed in rewatching this. Okay, that's alright. Gonna send the trebuchets over here to the front lines. I'm pretty sure they don't even get there here in time. We have 4 trebuchets here at the back, some demo ships, some fire ships, just trying to get some decent trades, because obviously these Teuton units are very tanky. I played the E3 demo. I wasn't at E3, but they had it at ECL, which I was at. And the last opponent in that one was Japanese, and they were way easier to take down than Teutons. Anyway, though, as you can imagine, there's a lot of units in here, and we're just going to try and debate them away with the Mangudai, and we are fairly successful with this. Again, it's not about actually defeating the army, it's about sniping buildings. So you can see there's a ton of fully upgraded Elite Teutonic Knights. I kind of derp around with my siege rams, probably should have sent them a little bit sooner, but like I said, optimization is what it's all about if you want to get to the top of that there leaderboard. So just continuing to send units forward. 100 years is probably the benchmark of if it's a good run or not. You can get it done before 100 years left. This is not that, although it's pretty close. So 4 trebuchet is going to be whacking away. You can see the siege rams really didn't pay off that much. It was mostly a matter of blocking enemy units and just tanking arrow fire. But they didn't do a lot of building sniping, at least in most of the cases. But anyway, that is it. I will be getting 36 something, I believe. Yeah, 36, 745. Not the greatest score ever, but it's alright-ish. And I just breeze through the achievables right away. And that is pretty much it. So yeah, guys, that is the Mongol Raiders challenge scenario. You can see you can get up to 65,000, which is pretty insane to me. Top 100 is around 39,000. So again, definitely way, way, way better people out there than me. But still, if you're looking just to get a semi-decent time, that is how you're going to be doing it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely let me know your awesome strats here, because I'm sure there are better ways to do it than mine. But yeah, catch you guys in the next one.